I'm Dana K. White of aslobcomesclean.com, author of Decluttering at the Speed of Life and How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. Okay, so last week's video was a Q&A, and I cut off the last question because I realized after I answered it by going and exploring my own house to answer it, that it was its own video because it's a great explanation of how the container concept frees me from all the overthinking and the what ifs, and sometimes means I get to keep things. Anyway, here you go. Here's the question. I literally don't know what's back here. Here's my guess. I feel like there's at least one Christmas candle. And here's the thing. Some people were like, why is that blocked when there's cabinets back there? Because I feel like these cabinets are the dumbest cabinets in the entire world that I'm never going to use. Like, for real. So that's why I don't even really think of them as cabinets. Okay, but here we go. I'm going to move the couple of things so I can see what's in there. Moving that to a second location for y'all, even though I know I shouldn't do that. Y'all excited? I'm going to edit this if it's something embarrassing. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, I seriously needed those. Hey, when did we have Thanksgiving in our house? 2 years ago? Not this past year, but the year before we had Thanksgiving in our house, right?
Yep.
I needed those. No idea. I had no idea that those were in there. And I was right. A Christmas candle. Oh my word, which is stuck. Gross. That is so cute. I'm gonna donate this little doolally. And then I'm gonna, let's see. That smells really good. It's never been burned. Okay. All right, well, I am gonna go ahead and, it's the morning right now. So my dishwasher is empty right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the dishwasher, and then I'm gonna put them in my china cabinet, and then I'm gonna see which ones don't fit once these are in there. Seriously, had no idea. I thought I had more glasses. All right, donate box. Trash, I guess, right? I'm gonna burn it right now. I'm gonna burn it right now and enjoy it. I think I'm gonna get rid of this because even though it smelled good when I sniffed it when it wasn't burning, it's burning now. I can't smell. Do I have Corona? I'm just kidding. I can smell other things. Anyway, but I can't smell it, so it doesn't have a point. I'm getting rid of it. All right, so after I ran those through the dishwasher, so I immediately, like literally put them in the dishwasher right then. Ran it when it wasn't completely full, but I wanted to get it done because I knew I wasn't gonna have room for all of those, plus whatever else we would need to put in there that night. After I did that, I brought them in here to my china cabinet because this is where I would look for them first. Y'all, I actually ran across a post that I will link below about that cabinet. Now, what do I have in that cabinet? Nothing. I'm leaving it with nothing. It's a dumb cabinet. I mean, really, like, I'm never gonna remember what's there. That's just the reality. Anyway, so I brought those in here, and my question was, are they gonna fit into my china cabinet? Because that's where I would look for them first. That's where I did look for them first, and then went, I guess I've decluttered those glasses because we don't have as many glasses as I really thought we had. Anyway, not a good place to have them over there. But anyway, so I brought them in here. This is my china cabinet. I love my china cabinet. Those of you who maybe didn't watch the other video and didn't hear my explanation that I'm not a minimalist, china and china cabinets, that is one of those things that I see people being like, why do you have that? I have it because I want to have it. And I can have it because I have the space for it, okay? That is where the container concept just frees me, okay? Because it helps me decide what needs to go, because even though something might be useful or valuable or have potential, and yes, someday I really might need it, if I don't have the space for it, I can't keep it. But here's the reverse. If I do have the space, I can keep it. So here is my room, okay? That right there, that picture is where this china cabinet is in my room. Inside the china, so there's space in the room, because the room itself is a container. There's space in the room for the china cabinet that doesn't take up space that I need for other things that we use on a daily basis. I like it, but I've liked a lot of stuff that didn't fit in my house. This I like, and it does. I get to keep it, okay? Then inside the china cabinet itself, I have to figure out, you know, what fits there and keeps it usable. All right, so it's not just a matter of can I cram stuff in there, but what keeps it usable. So let's look in here. I love this thing. It makes me happy, okay? Yeah, and I use these dishes at the very least once every 3 years. So that's not what we're asking. We're asking, does it fit, okay? All right, I use these at least when I have Thanksgiving at my house, and I try to get them out when my family, like over 2020, we used them when it was just my family. So here we go. Here's the picture of what it looked like before I put them in there. I didn't know I was gonna make a video, so I just kind of took a picture, and then here's what it looks like after. Okay. Really not that big of a difference because they are all clear glasses, okay? But I did have to make a decision because you see, here's a picture of what it looked like for just a minute, and I went, I don't like that look, okay? Like that was too much. When I had a glass right there, sorry, right there, it's hard to look in the camera and do it. When I had a glass right there, I was like, technically, yes, it would fit there. But I didn't like the way it looked. But I shifted a few things. I think I moved, I don't know, you can probably tell better from the picture. I think I moved these a little bit, shifted them so that it could go in there. I almost decided that I needed to get rid of one of my gravy boats. Yes, I have more than one. I have 3, okay? I was ready to get rid of one of them, and then I didn't end up needing to. Because when you have 15 people at Thanksgiving, like we did, not in 2020, because we didn't even have family Thanksgiving, but the year before we had it here. I mean, everybody's gotta have gravy. You've gotta have 2 on the big table and 1 at the kids' table. Anyway, but the reality is, if I didn't have the space for it, I would get rid of that and we would make do because we would be just fine. The kids don't need a fancy gravy boat. All right, so I ended up moving my cups a little bit closer together, and yet they're still not crammed, okay? And I ended up with space for all of those glasses, but I was ready to get rid of some of them because here's what my thought process was as I put them in there. I was like, I'm going to take my favorite ones first and find a space for them in there, okay? And whatever doesn't fit, I'm gonna get rid of. All right. I didn't end up having to get rid of any because it fit. The container concept allowed me to keep those, where if I didn't have that thought process, I would have been like, oh my goodness, there's all these glasses in this cabinet that we really did need in Thanksgiving of 19, okay? Like 2020 doesn't count, so that's not that long ago, right? If we take out 2020 and delete it from the world. Anyway, but that would have been how I thought, was like, oh, these are in the cabinet. Oh my goodness. Obviously we survived, so I really don't need them. But man, I really, really wished I had them. And I was mad that I didn't have them, but I didn't know they were here. But should I keep them? What do I do? Like making all these value decisions. And instead, all I had to do was say, I'm gonna go and see if they fit in my china cabinet. If they don't fit in my china cabinet, then I know that they need to go. So I put my favorite ones in first. These are not expensive glasses. I think my mom got these either at the Dollar Tree and gave them to me, or maybe I did. Anyway, and then these were, I think these were giveaways at Arby's. Do you guys remember that when Arby's used to give away glasses? We used to have like all kinds of different ones. Anyway, that was a great excuse to go to Arby's. Anyway, I'm talking about in the 70s and 80s. I don't know if they do that anymore. But like these right here, I put these in first because these are more realistic. We don't actually drink champagne, alcohol, anything like that. So I was like, water glasses are the things that we actually needed. So I was ready. So I put these in first because these are the ones that I would use more often. And then I was ready to get rid of these if they didn't fit. They ended up fitting. So great. I also thought I might, okay, this is all the what ifs, but I ended up getting to keep everything. I have a couple of these, which obviously did not get used in 2019 because look, they are super dusty. But again, I needed water glasses. And so I didn't actually, you know, these I don't think got used because what I needed was the bigger ones. So I had that in my head of, okay, these are something that I might get rid of, even though these are significant. I think these are actual things we got for our wedding, like the nicer ones. But in reality, even though it's nicer, it doesn't deserve space over the ones that we would actually use. And I was ready to, but I got to keep it. So yay. I hope that makes sense to you. That's why I love the container concept. The container concept, in short, for those of you who are sitting here going, why have I watched this far and I still don't know what she's talking about, is that containers are meant to serve as limits. They help me determine how much I can keep. I can keep anything, I just can't keep everything. So if I put my favorite things in first, anything that doesn't fit then has to go because that's the reality of the space. So this room is a container for my china cabinet. The china cabinet itself is a container for these dishes. And so that helps me make those decisions and say, it's not that I'm saying this item doesn't have value. I'm saying, does it deserve space in my container over other things that need to be in my container, okay? So yes, it helps me get rid of things, but sometimes it means I get to keep stuff. Yay. All right, so I have a podcast. It's actually one of the very first podcasts I ever did, but I hear from a lot of people a lot of times that it was like, oh, now I get it. And it's called Containers and Limits and How They'll Change Your Life. I think it was my 7th podcast back in 2013. Anyway, but you can go to aslobcomesclean.com/podcasts, scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll find it. And that'll kind of help you talk through like my light bulb moments of, oh, containers are limits. Oh my word. And how life-changing that was in my decluttering process. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.